Hi, everyone. I'm here with David Wright. David is a personal trainer at Fitness for 10 in Carson City. Thanks for being here as always, David.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Steve.
All right, we're going to talk about seed oils, something that, we talk about quite often on this channel and all my channels. And just the more you learn about seed oils and the more you learn about these vegetable oils and what they deep fry foods in and what they cook in and how they make seed oils, how they make canola oil. The more you hear, the more you learn. It's just disgusting. And personally, I think seed oils are one of the causes of everything bad. Everything. So what are your first thoughts on seed oils? Should we avoid them?
Yeah, in my mind, there's no question that we should avoid them. I mean, there's been, I would say, probably hundreds of studies or more, all studying different effects of, whether it's vegetable oils or canola oils or all these different other varieties that we have. You go to the grocery store and there's just this line of different, shiny oil bottles that people try to, figure out what to buy and all that other stuff. And all of it is just, it's awful. It's completely terrible for you now. And I understand that, folks a lot of times don't really look into it a whole lot, or maybe it's in a recipe that they see and they're like, oh, I need vegetable oil or whatnot. You don't have to use that. And so my first thoughts on it are stay as far away from those types of things as you possibly can. And to your point, we're frying things in it. And if you go to restaurants and things like that, you never know what they're actually using in the back in that kitchen. And a lot of times for restaurants, not to go off on a tangent, whole nother story, but restaurants, they're depending on the restaurant, they're going to be worrying about their price point, their costs, and what's cheap. Seed oils are cheap. So what are we going to use? Most of the time, not all restaurants, some of the higher end ones will use a better quality, but vast majority are going to use something that's not going to cost a lot, but will get you, that same fried food and whatnot, and that's going to be a seed oil. So yeah, it's just no good no matter which way you look at them.
So let's talk about some of the places that seed oils are hiding. You go to the grocery store, go look. Almost everything in the middle aisles is going to have seed oils. Why? Because almost all ultra processed foods have seed oils in them. Like you can't, and it's so hard. And you look at the obesity issue in this country and people not all the sickness, and it's just disgusting how unhealthy Americans are.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think seed oils are a big problem, but here's one place that seed oils hide. You can't just go to the grocery store and grab the salad dressing off of the middle aisle in the grocery store. And people think they're doing so good. I'm eating this lettuce, which is sprayed with pesticides. And then all I put on it is a little salad dressing with seed oils. No, you're not eating a lot of calories, but you're eating poison.
Yeah, and I worked in a grocery store for a long time and retail for a long time, and so I was used to looking at different labels and things like that, and then getting into nutrition and bodybuilding and all of that really makes me look at what I'm putting in my body. And one of the things that you really see is salad dressings are huge. There are a lot of things. Looking at even different like nut butters and just different stuff that even stuff outside of things you'd normally look at to see what kind of oil or ingredients are in it, you'd be really surprised a lot of times, or not surprised, depending how much research you've done and how many different products just you wouldn't even think they had oil in it. Some of them, and you just look and you go, "Oh, I didn't realize it had it," but it's maybe further down the list or whatever. Any amount, actually, in my mind, is something that you should steer clear of, whether it's the first item on the nutrition or it's down in the middle someplace. It's crazy how many things have those ultra processed oils, really fake oil, in my own personal opinion. And I'm no doctor.
Motor
I'm not
oil.
basically. I'm
It's,
not a
it's
doctor. I'm not a
bleached
physician.
motor oil.
Yeah, and I just look at it and I go, not only do I think it's responsible a lot, in my opinion, for a lot of the obesity and the you know deteriorating health of a lot of Americans, there's a lot of things like cancer and just different ailments, and again, I'm not making a diagnosis of any kind, but you look at the trends of how much this stuff is going up and up and up every year. Our medical technology is better. We could do a whole segment on all this stuff, but medical technology, people are living longer, but our quality of life is not great in some instances. So you look at, well, what's changed? Well, look at how much stuff is in all of these foods, and those seed oils are in so many things. And so to me, that just makes sense that it has a connection.
Yeah. And I mean, we can go on and on and on about the
Oh,
things that you
yeah.
need to do. My wife and I, we triple filter our water, you know. Um, but there is, I don't usually promote this group, but Primal Kitchen, there is a link in the description, and there's a promo code. I think it's Vitality One. You can check that out. Primal Kitchen is a brand that I trust. They use avocado oil for their salad dressings. And so you can get salad dressings there. You can check the link and you can go there. I just thought of that. But also, Primal Kitchen is a brand that you can find in a lot of grocery stores. So it's actually something you're going to find in the middle of the aisles that I do buy. Um, are you familiar with Primal Kitchen?
I have not seen that. No.
Yeah. So Mark Sisson is the founder of it. I think that's who it is. And he's older than me and at least as fit, if not more fit than me. So he's really into eating healthy. And so that's a place or a brand that, and the salad dressing's good. If you go to a restaurant, a lot of times you're safe at an Italian restaurant because they're going to make, if you go to these upper end restaurants, they're going to make their own dressing. They are not going to dare to take something out of a bottle in the name of their chef and put it on your salad. So these upper end restaurants, which, a lot of people can't afford to go to those. And the Primal Kitchen salad dressing is not cheap, but it's healthy. But they make their own dressings and sauces, and they're using olive oil. They're usually using extra virgin olive oil because they're after the best taste they can get. So ask, and if the restaurant says, oh, we make our own sauce, we make our own this or that, then you're usually safe because they're going to be picky about the ingredients that they're using because they want to impress you with the flavor.
Right, exactly. And then there are others that, might get their stuff out of a bottle or a bag or who knows where. And that's just the kind of stuff that's like, the flavor is not as good, but also, it's just really terrible for you. So you really have to, be one of those people that does ask. If you're really concerned about what you're putting in your body, ask where this stuff comes from, or, is this something just as simple as like what you're saying, is it made in house? Yes. Okay. Then you pretty much can, not a guarantee 100%, but it's much more likely that it's made of quality ingredients. Because, like you said, a lot of places, especially if they have an executive chef or a chef that that's their name on the line type of thing, they're going to make sure that the stuff is good and it's good quality because otherwise they wouldn't be there. And just making sure we understand what we're putting in our body and having enough interest in doing that to ask those questions is really important.
For sure. Ask the questions when you go out to eat, and especially when you go to breakfast. Simple thing. Hey, please cook all my food in butter. 9 out of 10 times they'll do it. One time I had one restaurant said, well, we can't do that, but we can use no oil. I said, okay, use no oil. That's not as good, but just ask them. Please cook everything in butter. Make a note there on my order that I would like everything cooked in butter. I don't know. Tell them you're allergic to everything but butter. And you're going to break out in hives. Well, I'm not advocating lying, but ask them to cook in butter, especially breakfast. So, any final thoughts, David?
Yeah, I just think it's really important, to have these types of conversations so people can, educate themselves and know what they're putting in their body and for their families and things like that and what to look for. So it's always good to just know what you're consuming and what you should steer clear.
Yeah, and as always, do your own research. Don't listen to us. Um, we have information. We do our own research, but you all listening need to do your own research. We're not doctors, and don't even listen to all doctors. Go do your own research on top of listening to your medical professionals. So, David, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Steve.